And now, Anna Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. What? Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors. Wash the dishes. Do it all. Said Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona all together. One day, the king and Quadrillion Hand's messengers said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Quadrillion Hand is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Forting." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Fiona. Ophelia said, "No way, Fiona! He's going to marry me." Ursula said, "Both of you are wrong! He's going to marry me." Ramona said, "All 3 of you are wrong! He's going to marry me." Later, Cinderella is so sad because she can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, "I got lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." Cinderella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, all of Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 4 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, and then chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand to turn the 4 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 8 strong horses. And then Cinderella's clothes into a gathered crowd. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a quadtastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers." Her fairy godmother said, "Have fun, mighty Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will turn back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Fortune was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona said all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince 14 dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realizes it's midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince 14 was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Quadrillion Hand to find her, and brought the 2 tiny glass slippers with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella and her stepsisters live, but instead of Cinderella, he finds Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Kitty and Fiona tried on these glass slippers. Fiona at first, but her feet are too big. Ophelia said, but her feet are too small. Ursula and Ramona did the same thing, but their feet don't fit either. Suddenly, Prince 14 notices Swarla's sweet singing. The glass slippers fit! Swarla gets so excited because she's happy to have her Prince 14 back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And then, take care, Andrew Stores. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 49erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 49erella. 49erella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. All 9 of them constantly made fun of 49erella and made her do all the chores. 49er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said them all together. One day, the king of 49ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 49ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Non-Quadragentupling. But 49erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They are overjoyed. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince Not a Quadragentupling marry. Later, 49erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Not a Quadragentupling. Whatever will I do? She went first. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 49erella. There, now, 49erella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you, she said. She then waves her magic wand. And because of that, 49erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 49erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 49erella has 49 pumpkins and 98 mice. 49erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 49 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 98 mice into horses, and the 49erella's brick clothes into a gown and crown. 49erella says, I've never seen such a not a quadragentupling-tastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 49erella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't, but have fun, 49erella, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will go back to normal. And so, 49erella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Not a Quadragentupling was wondering who he should marry. Wondering who to marry, son? asked the wise, kind-hearted, and bold King 49ville, to which Prince Not a Quadragentupling responds, yes, father. You're going to marry me, Prince, not a quadriga toppling, said Farah, the oldest of 49erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsister. Farah, wrong. You're Prince, not a quadriga toppling. You're going to marry me, said Olivia. Both of you are wrong. Prince, not a quadriga toppling. You're going to marry me, said Ramona. The rest say, you're going to marry me, Prince, not a quadriga toppling. But Prince not a quadriga toppling did not angrily denies the request. Suddenly, 49erella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince not a quadriga toppling sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, you must be 49erella. May I please have this dance? To which 49erella responds, yes, I would be happy to. And so, 49erella and Prince not a quadriga toppling dance happily together. But later, 49erella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she ran so fast that she left one of her glass slippers behind. Prince not a quadriga toppling was really worried that he might never see her again. The king of 49ville comforts him by saying, there, now, son. I think we'll be able to find 49erella. And so, the next day, Prince not a quadriga toppling and the king of 49ville traveled all around 49ville and tried to find 49erella, who captured Prince not a quadriga toppling's heart and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the home where 49erella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 49erella, they find Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince not a quadriga toppling then says, ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? Farah is first, but her foot is too big. Olivia's next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits! She said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince not a quadriga toppling and the king of 49ville noticed 49erella's sweet singing. Prince not a quadriga toppling and the king of 49ville, your majesty, is that you guys? She hollered excitedly, to which the king of 49ville says, 49erella, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince not a quadriga toppling? 49erella and Prince not a quadriga toppling are now married. They, along with the king of 49ville, lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 289erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time in a faraway land named November to St. Toplingham, there was a young woman named 289erella. 289erella had 20 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tina, Winona, Una, Hilda, Uma, Nicola, Diana, Ramona, Estrella, Davina, Eleonora, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, Tara, Nina, Indira, Natasha, and Erica. All 20 of them constantly made fun of 289erella. Made her do all the chores and watch her work. 289, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! said Tina to Erica all together. One day, the king of Novamata Jinta Deuce and Tubblingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Novamata Jinta Deuce and Tublingham, who is kind, wise, and caring, his majesty is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Novamata Jinta Deuce and Tubling. Tina, Winona, Una, Hilda, Uma, Nicola, Diana, Ramona, Estrella, Davina, Eleonora, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, Tara, Yadina, Nina, and Natasha are overjoyed and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but 289 feels left out. He is going to marry me, said Tina, the oldest stepsister, to which her younger sisters disagree and argue over who will marry Prince November Tumbling, Dusa Tumbling, fall in love with later. 289 is so sad, distraught, and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince November Tumbling. Whatever will I do? She whimpers. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 289. There, now 289. She said, I'll fix everything. No one will know what to do. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 289. His chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 289, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 289 has her friends. 289 pumpkins and 578 mice. 289's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 289 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 578 mice into horses, and then 289 reclose into a gown and crown, and then a pair of magical glass slippers appear on her feet. 289 says, I've never seen such a Novamata Jita Dusa double-tastic gown! And get it out of my magical glass slipper sparkling. Her fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. Well, 289 you can't, but have fun. But I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 289 accepted the warning. At the ball, the king of Novamata Jinta Dusa Tublingham asks, wonder who to marry, Prince Novamata Jinta Dusa Tubling, to which Prince Novamata Jinta Dusa Tubling responds, yes, father. Suddenly, 289 arrives at the ball just in time. Prince Novamata Jinta Dusa Tubling sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, you must be 289 May I please have this dance? Yes, said 289 overjoyed. And so, she and Prince Novamata Jinta Dusa Tubling dance happily together. Tina, Winona, Una, Hilda, Uma, Nicola, Diana, Ramona, Estrella, Davina, Eleonora, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, Tara, Yadina, Nina, Indura, Nasha, and Ergo watched them jealously as they wanted Prince November Jitoni to fall in love with them. What? Prince November Jin Duset only loves 289 orange? Said Tina, the oldest stepsisters. Her. Yes, at her younger sisters. They shout all together. But later, 289 realized It's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. The next day, the king of Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Tumlingham and Prince Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Tumling traveled all around the neighborhood, trying to find 289 Rala who captured Prince Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Tumling's heart and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrive, Prince Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Tumling knocked on the door of the house where 289 Arala and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 289 Arala, they find Tina, Winona, Una, Hilda, Uma, and Nicola, Diana, Ramona, Estrella, Davina, Eleonora, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, Tara, Yadina, Nina, and Daira, Nasha, and Erica. Prince Novem Ata Jinta Toppling then says, "Ladies, my father, the king of Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Topplingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tina is first, but her foot is too big. We notice this, but her foot is too small." "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet fit either. Suddenly, the king of Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Topplingham, Prince Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Toppling, noticed 289 Arala singing, "Prince Novem Ata Jin Dusan Toppling and your majesty, is that you guys?" she uttered excitedly. 289 Arala, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you! Exclaims the king of Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Topplingham. And the glass slipper fits! And the king of Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Topplingham, Prince Novem Ata Jinta Dusan Toppling, and 289 Arala lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrews Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewsEverything.com. Take care. Bye.